All right, we're back. We got some more work going on the 53 Chevy. Remember last time, got the motor in, the trans. I did finish the front stuff, springs and shocks, brakes, rack is all hooked up. Everything's all hooked up. Fittings for lines. Eventually, I think this needs to be bigger. I think it's a 5/16, so I need to get a bigger one, but they're just placeholders right now. And the thing that kind of worries me is the angle of this. If you can see right there is the actual output. It's got a cover on it. Let me take it off. Right there, you see that? So I'm gonna have to use a universal joint here, and I think kind of go this way, then another universal joint to bring it up and out, and then maybe even a third universal joint to get it into this hole where the steering shaft will be. So I'll have to figure that out once I get to that point. Right now I started on the gas tank install. I want to show you guys something. I keep forgetting that the whole reason I'm doing these videos is to kind of show you guys how I do things. I like to save money, and I like to do things as easy as possible. So I try to combine those two ideas, and this is one of those ideas. So putting the gas tank up in here, I got some new hardware for some new straps that I got, and I needed to get some foam, some insulation foam for the tank when it rests up against here and right here. So I found this insulation at Lowe's, and it's actually some sponge window seal, extra large. Comes in a 10-foot roll for like $8. So more than enough to do a gas tank, and it's got this really nice, spongy, foamy insulation that when you put the tank up in there, it's gonna hold it nice and tight. So it's not gonna go anywhere. It's gonna keep it nice and insulated. And I'll probably use the rest of that roll on the straps that go under the tank, just to insulate the straps as well. Now, another thing is the straps themselves. Where do they go? Right here. So instead of spending like $40 on actual universal fuel tank straps, 16 gauge steel, went and I found this stuff at Lowe's. I think it's, let me zoom out. I think it's some kind of like a strap. It's a Simpson strong tie. Let's see. There's some part numbers. But I think it's for putting 2x4s together, but it's 16 gauge steel. So it's the same, material as a tank strap. And I bought 4 of them. They were only like $3 each. So $12, and I'll have more than enough to make some straps for that tank. So yeah, here we go. So real quick, get a close-up of the strap. Looks like it'll work pretty good. What I'm gonna do here on the end, so I'm gonna try to hold this as best I can. So this metal is enough to hold the tank. However, it's not enough to just bend it over 90 degrees, drill a hole, and put the nut on it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get I have some thicker metal sitting over there. I think it's 3/16 thick. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut a few inches, bend one end at 90, and weld it to the strap. And that way, the stronger metal is what goes on the bolt. And then this strap metal is not having any stress being bent at the tip there. And it's only going to be in like a tension, which should be just fine. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I got those little brackets cut. Hopefully this will give you a better idea of what I'm doing. So there's a little bracket made of 3/16 steel and bent 90 with a 3/8 hole in it. So this is the piece that's actually gonna take the force of the nut pushing up on it. and it's very, you know, resistant to bending because it's so thick. So what I'm gonna do is get this strap in place and make some marks so I know how far up it goes. So I'll put a mark right where the thicker steel bracket meets the thinner steel. And then I'll weld the two together so that way, you know, the thicker portion of this is what's taking that force from the nut, pulling up on it. And then I'll do the same for the other three corners. So here we go. Like I said, the ends are welded on. I had barely enough foam to get the bottom of these. This is all that's left. So there you go. 10 feet. Did 2 straps and then also did 4 rows on the tank. I did 2 rows on each side. Yeah, so let's get them installed. Well, we have success. So now you can more easily see what I was talking about with those brackets. How, you know, this angled bracket is pulling straight up on this much thinner strap. I'll tell you what, it's in there real good. A little bit of a gap right here, but I mean the main points of concern are the edges, corners, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, I mean it's not going anywhere. This line is the return line. It goes up there and then it returns through the filler neck. So just FYI on that. But yeah, I mean, it turned out real well. Here's the back, you know, same concept all around. Yeah, pretty good. You can see the foam right there kind of pressed between the tank and the frame. So yeah, I think it worked out real well. Very excited.